Hey guys, how you doing? So we're going to get into the water signs. These are meant to be quick, timeless reads. There will be timestamps in the description. We're going to get right into it. So we're starting with Pisces, Cancer, and then Scorpio. I rolled my astro dice to see the order, and we're going to go with that. All right, so Pisces, what is the main energy for you in this beautiful divine time? What is going on? What do you need to know? Pisces energy, Pisces placements, the house that Pisces rules for you. Spirit, what is going on with Pisces? What is the energy at this time? Spirit said keep it in reverse. Okay. We've got the demon card on the top, and we've got, ooh, I just made this card tonight. The rings is on the bottom. So Pisces, you might be in a commitment that is painful. I feel like this is someone, because it also is showing up on the broken mind card. Okay. It's someone that you perceived as an angel, right? This is the bleeding empath energy. It's when we have our demons right in front of us, right? And we're perceiving them as an angel, right? We're seeing their potential. I feel like a part of you wants to extend an olive branch and let this connection go in peace. But I think a part of you knows it's going to blow up if you try and get out of it. What are the actions, thoughts, feelings for Pisces, please? Okay. Yeah, you're feeling ready to reap the rewards, knowing there's more steps to be taken first. Making or receiving a tangible offer, may your will be done manifestation. I think that you're going to attempt to face whatever this is with a sense of fairness, Pisces. I think you know what it is that you want. I think you know there's multiple steps taken to get there. But ultimately, I think that whatever it is you want, you will get. God, who broke your heart first? A partner or a parent? Who taught you were unworthy of their love? Distracted by a fear of setbacks when every step we take is forward, it's self-stunted progress. A lie is a lie, whether you are speaking one outright or withholding the truth. Who are you kidding? Sometimes the best view is from the position you are already at. Let it come to you. When you feel the need to explain yourself, seek validation, you have to ask yourself why you think you're possibly wrong. Something is. And trusting in a leap of faith, there's always a method to the madness. Okay, so Pisces, obviously you got into a commitment with someone that you saw a lot of potential in. Unfortunately, I do not think they are reaching their potential. You are not the person to help them reach this potential. I do think you want to separate amicably. I don't feel like exploding is the way to go, although it might end that way depending on who you're dealing with. because our demons don't like it when we shine for ourselves. But I think the real question is, how did you end up in this situation? So you have to go back to your first heartbreak, right? Whether it was a partner or a parent, or in a way, both. Not that your parent's your partner, but you know what I mean? Like your first partner heartbreak and your parent, you know, like who hurt you first? Who taught you you were unworthy of love because you obviously picked up someone who does not return the same love energy that you give? You are being distracted by a fear of setbacks. So don't look at the future and think about what the losses are, because anything you lose that's worth having, you'll get back. I'm hearing like 10 times over if you know you have to sacrifice certain things. So like, don't stunt your own progress. And a lie is a lie, whether you are speaking it outright or withholding the truth. Who are you kidding? I think you know the truth that you're feeling. Obviously, you're in your thoughts. These are all masculine cards. All the feminine energy is on the other sides, but they came out all in the masculine face. A lot in your head. I feel that if you feel the need to explain yourself to this person, you know it's wrong, right? You know it's wrong. You know something's off. And it might be because they're dead set on misunderstanding you, to be completely honest. Why are you seeking validation from a person who insists on misunderstanding you or not seeing your point of view? Because if they can't see your point of view and or are unwilling to see your point of view, they don't care. Not about you, they care about themselves. All they care about is whether or not what you're doing is going to affect them and how it affects them, and if they like that effect or not. Someone's going to give you a hard time. What is the divine conversation, please, Spirit, for Pisces? Spirit says, I still love you no matter how many times you miss the lesson. Let's reflect on it now. Pick yourself up and try again. Spirit. So Pisces, you've been through this a few times. You've been through this lesson at least a couple times now, where you keep being drawn to or attracted to people who don't give you the love you deserve or are worthy of truly because you didn't see it. I feel like wherever you were at with this energy, this shadow energy, it created a place of divine discomfort, a feeling of being stuck, so that you could really take this moment to dig deep inside yourself and realize how you're eclipsing out your own light. I think you have an open door with something that burned previously, whether you realize it or not. But you're going to have to potentially let go of an addiction in order to obtain it. Whatever it is, you know, that maybe you're lying to yourself about, that something doesn't matter or that it's not possible. I think you need to double check this energy, right? Making or receiving a tangible offer. I think you have to communicate with somebody. If anything, at least to like bounce an idea or feelings off of them. You might have to accept conditions if you're going to move into a different commitment. Especially with the rings on top. I don't think it's a bad thing. If you're restricting some kind of toxic behavior, detrimental to your relationships or detrimental to yourself, I think that it would really pay off to let it go. All right, Pisces. So I hope that helps. We're going to move into Cancer. Cancer. Get a good shuffle on these. All right, Cancer. We're going to see what's going on for you in this beautiful divine time whenever you catch it. Spirit, what is going on with Cancer? What is going on? What do we need to know for Cancer at this time? What do they need to hear? We've got the fireplace on top and the dark night, or the fireplace on bottom and the dark night on top. We've got the pedestal, the chrysalis, the key, the addiction, and the hourglass. So Cancer, someone might be hiding certain things from you with the fireplace. I'm getting that burning of the evidence vibes, especially with the Dark Knight card. It doesn't feel like a warm and cozy place coming from the fireplace. I feel with the pedestal and the chrysalis, you have yet to put yourself on that pedestal. You might be working through some Chiron energy, dealing with someone who has addictions if it's not you outright. And it's like it's time. And I think you know that, and I think you're putting it off. But I feel like that time is coming soon. I'm being super drawn to the cigarette. So if you're a cigarette smoker, you might need to let that addiction go. Or recognize that that addiction is tied to Chiron in your chart. And or Saturn, if you have a Saturn connection with someone. Or multiple people. Like when you let certain addictions go, when you heal what's behind it, your inner will reflect in your outer. So if there's other people in your life that are toxic or have addictions themselves, like you'll be able to let one go with the other because the mirror won't sync, right? You won't have that like attracts like energy. What's going on? This is my masculine feminine deck. What is going on? More insight for Cancer, please. Hey, Megan. How you doing? We are in the wee hours of the morning here. It is 3:30 a.m. What does Cancer need to know, please? Feeling owed an apology when you need to forgive yourself. Your ego is blocking you. You're not seeing eye to eye or understanding another, arguments and walking away. You're not in their shoes and they aren't in yours. Feeling ready to reap the rewards, knowing there's more steps to be taken first. Sensing or feeling long-term commitment. Your soul's job is on addiction. Cancer. If you are addicted to a commitment or saving somebody, sweetheart, it is not your soul's job to save somebody. Do not be addicted to the projects. Making excuses or reasons why you are self-destructing. Yeah, placing your worth in the opinions of others. Cancer. Putting yourself and the goals you want to achieve first. There's nothing wrong with that. If you feel dishonest or are keeping secrets, what are you ashamed to admit? How are you robbing yourself? Cancer. What are you not admitting? What are you ashamed of, or what are you afraid of being ashamed of? Like, you have personal goals that you want to experience, whether those personal goals are monetary or those personal goals are emotional, right? You want to feel joy, you want to feel safe, you want to feel heard, you want to feel loved, you want to feel considered, you want to feel stable, right? You have certain goals. I think that whoever or whatever you are attached to, you're lying to yourself. And the reason why you're being dishonest with yourself or keeping secrets from other people about how you really feel is because you're afraid of the shame of the aftermath of following through with whatever it is that you want and are seeking from spirit to bring into your life and manifest for you. Like, you want to reap the rewards. You don't want to still be working on a quote unquote project person, but you're making excuses or have your reasons why you're self-destructing, placing your worth in the opinions of others. You know, it could be like someone who's been married 3 times or 4 times and they're on their 5th marriage or their 5th divorce and they're afraid about what people are going to think. You know, or, oh, you're X amount of years old and you're single. Like, yeah, I'm 39, almost 40 years old and I'm single. No, I'm not dating. You know what I mean? Like, what is the opinion? What is the opinion that you're seeking from other people that's favorable that you feel you're going to get from sticking around with whatever this addictive behavior is? The addictive behavior being project people. You feel like someone owes you an apology when you need to forgive yourself because you keep allowing it. You want to be put on a pedestal. Someone's not putting you on that pedestal, or they didn't in the past. You need to forgive yourself. Your ego is blocking your ability to channel spirit intuitively, like in regards to yourself, your intuition. You are not seeing eye to eye with someone else. They do not understand you and you do not understand them. And them's the breaks. Like the chrysalis, you're all mush in there. And it's like, who are you going to form into? You have to heal some things, Cancer. You have to seriously heal some things, and you can't do that so long as you're tied up in this toxic energy, right? This addictive behavior, this attachment you have to trying to heal someone else like it's your job. It's not your job. You think healing others is your job. It's not your job. Heal yourself. Divine conversation. If it's their fault and you insist on blaming them, you are as good as a tree stump. Cell phone. Right? Divine conversation spirit's having with you, Cancer. It's not their fault. It's not their fault. You feel owed an apology like it's their fault. They owe you because it's their fault. You need to forgive yourself. This is what you've been choosing. You've been choosing it every day. God knows how long. Trying to fix them. And it's never been your job to fix them. And you've been suffering trying to fix them. You've doubled down and tripled down and quadrupled down trying to fix them. And it's not their fault. They are who they are and you are who you are. And it's not fucking working. So why are you trying to force it? You know what I mean? Like, it's just causing pain all around. Oof. Cancer, stop. Wake up, Cancer. Wake up, Cancer. It's not your job to heal other people. You don't need a project. You just need to heal yourself. You just need to heal yourself. We're going to move into Scorpio. Get a good shuffle on these cards. All right. Scorpio. All right, Scorpio. Spirit, please, what is going on for Scorp and their highest good? What do we need to know at this beautiful divine time? What do we need to be aware of? What is in their highest good to know? What is going on with Scorpio? Addiction. Star. The angel is lost because of the broken mind. Mirror. Scissors is on top. The tombstone's on bottom. Okay, Scorp. So you might have this is sad because the angel was right there. The angel was right there. They're in the reverse now, which means they've been released. It was right there. But you had the angel right in front of you, and your brain, it was perceiving them like a demon. You know, like they've got motives or they've got an agenda with you. They were your mirror to help you heal your shadows. You might have an addiction to healing. You've got to cut the old self. You know what I mean? Like, if you want the sweet life, which is the honey jar underneath the scissors, like, you've got to cut the old self out. It might have served you for a time, but you're addicted to this healing process. If you don't have other addictions outright, which you might, right? You might not consider them an addiction, but substances of any kind taking a part in your life are there for a reason. And they're usually hiding something, helping you cope or deal with something. This message, it came out similar in the in real time, the all signs for September that we just did. Scorpio botched it with an angel, thinking they had motives, that narcissistic mindset, thinking the worst of people, assuming the worst of people, which means in the mirror, like, you haven't healed certain things yet. Like, you might think that you have, but the reality is, if you think the worst of people, it's because you don't trust yourself to be your best yet. You don't trust yourself to be your best yet. But you had a beautiful mirror in front of you. What else do we need to know, please? Feeling out of place or not yourself because you're stuck in a comfort zone came out of the reverse, which means you might feel exactly where you're meant to be, but it's not a comfort zone. It might come off like that. You might think it is, but there's something very uncomfortable about it that you don't like. What else? Making high-aligned choices because you're in alignment with your higher self. Offer an apology despite feelings of being owed one. You weren't perfect either. Stop blaming others. You might need to apologize for this misconception. Like, yeah, they might not have been perfect, but you aren't perfect either. Like, don't blame them for being dropped. You know what I mean? If you had preconceived notions or ideas about who they were, or what they were doing, or what they were after, like, maybe they were just being an earth angel. You know, they were being honest, they were being real, they were holding space, holding compassion, holding consideration. That's what our angels do. They consider us. They would never hurt us. They would never hurt us. Our angels would never use us. Yeah, feeling like the past is finally behind you. Feeling worry and alone. Feeling forgotten or left out. Mental exhaustion. A focus on ruin. Extreme pessimism. You are creating your own downfall. I feel like whoever that angel was, they would have brought that feeling in. The thing is, you know, what we were talking about earlier that feels like a comfort zone, but it's not. Like, you worry about being alone. You might not realize it, but feeling forgotten, feeling tired or exhausted, right? With the pessimism, the focus on the ruin, you create your own downfall. At the end of the day, Scorpio, I think you really have to realize, like, sometimes our earth angels find us at just the right time, and we don't think it's the right time, but it is. But it is. Top of the deck, it says, you can't withhold information or facts that need to be considered or made known. You're withholding something. And Scorpio, I'm not surprised, you know, with being your sign, because Scorpio in general is secretive. They'll take in information from outside of other people, but they won't express it in return. If you're going to make a choice, your heart, mind, and soul must agree and feel good about the choice. asking the right questions, not just to other people, but to yourself. Scorpio, I don't think this is out of reach for you. But you'd be coming up from behind. You'd be coming up from behind. The old self that is afraid, the old self that is pessimistic, the old self that is stuck in this very uncomfortable, quote unquote, comfort zone. I think you have to really start weighing the pros and cons as you look at the rest of your life, you know, as you get older. Can you really take this belief system to the end? I feel like someone can't forget you. Someone can't forget you. Whoever this angel was, they can't forget you. They won't. I think you might be a little stuck in your ways, Scorp. And if you're happy, that's fine. You know what I mean? No tea, no shade. But is it something that's going to help you maintain happiness in the long run? Because if you can't let go of the old self, if you can't cut the old self out, then what you're going to do is cut out the sweetness, right? You're going to cut out the honey jar. The real healing. I think this is someone you've known in past lives very deeply. And the time is ticking on that. If you want to get to the new dawn, time is ticking on that. What is the divine conversation Spirit wants to have with you, Scorp? Lying is for cowards, and secrets are dishonorable. Face the truth, let it set you free. The truth is the only way out. Truth is the only way out. I had this conversation with a Scorpio not that long ago. I was born with my sun in Sag, exact on one of the royal fixed stars and Taurus. And it's all about truth and integrity. And that's why I am the way I am here on the channel. I'm a firm believer in the truth setting you free. When we lie to the self, the only person that truly gets hurt in the end is ourselves. It's worse when it ripples to other people. But I think there's a certain truth that you're holding, Scorp, that you're in denial with to yourself so that you could stick out this uncomfortable comfort zone. I think you're addicted to the healing process, whether that healing process is a painful partner or if that healing process is, you know, feeling sorry for yourself and trying to get better, you know, like whatever that is. My dad's a Scorpio. I feel like whatever it is, Scorp, you're not being completely honest with yourself. And if you were dealing with an earth angel who lived in a vibration of truth, that's why you misaligned, because you're lying to yourself. You're lying to yourself. The past is not behind you yet. You want to feel like it is, but it's not. And it's keeping you from moving forward. You might want to watch your other signs and your other placements as I go through these readings. Because it sucks to see that kind of stuff. Like, that's sad. You're depriving yourself. You're depriving yourself. Codependency and manipulation isn't attractive. It'll force highly aligned people out of your reality every time. That might have been the fear, right? The pessimism, the fear of codependency. Manipulation could be as simple as underhandedly keeping someone at bay when you don't even know who they are or what they're about. You know, Scorpio's reading in real time when we were doing the September reads, you know, they were in such a state, like they weren't just chasing away the crows, they were chasing away the doves too, right? They had this kind of scarecrow energy come up in their reading. And it's like, yeah, you know, you might be chasing away the crows, but you're chasing away the good ones too. Like, you don't even know what they're about yet. You don't even know who they were to you. And this kind of energy, it chased them off. It's going to force highly aligned people out of your life. Like, manipulation means you're going after what you want inside your own egoic mind and not listening to your own intuition. Manipulation is when we try to force things that are not divine. So, you know, if you are in a place of, let's just say, solitude and spirit's bringing you in an earth angel, you forcing your solitude to persist, you know what I mean? And chasing away the doves, like, you're not listening to your intuition. I can understand why this person left your reality. I get that, especially if they are tuned in. They're like, you're not ready, right? The past isn't behind you yet. And that's okay. You know, that's okay, because everybody's healing process takes their own time. But, like, you know, I was in a relationship for, I mean, it's been years ago now, but this person wasn't ready. And it's unfortunate because I've experienced it with multiple people. People aren't ready when they meet me. People aren't ready when they meet me. And it ends up going sideways. And then after it goes sideways and I leave, because it's always me that ends up leaving, they end up wanting me back. At some point, they realize what was lost and they want it back. And the thing is, there's too much history. There's too much pain. There's too much trust broken by the time they realize it, and it's too late, you know? And I feel like the truth, because I've learned now, you know, I have my own process that helps avoid that kind of stuff. But I think that you have to figure out, Scorp, what it is that you're afraid of, and develop a process for you that you could trust so that you're not chasing away everybody. Like, for me, it's not a matter of chasing people away. It's a matter of chasing people that are not ready, only to end up so hurt that by the time they start chasing me, I'm not interested. You know, you've got to figure out what it is that you really do want as a comfort zone that is truly comfortable, a place that you can be in for the rest of your life without feeling like something is missing, right? Without exhausting yourself. Because not cutting this out, this pessimistic, focus on ruin, They have motives. They have an agenda. People lie to me. Like, the only reason why you're believing that is because you're lying to yourself. You're lying to yourself. All right. And you're forcing things to be a certain way when Spirit's asking you to have a deeper conversation with yourself. Like, is that really the way it's meant to be? You really feel guided in that way? Or is that your fear talking? Is that your pain talking? Why is pain a comfort zone? Like, we have multiple cards out here about withholding truth, withholding information. Your heart, your mind, and your soul have to agree. You can make choices with your head all day, but if your heart doesn't like it and it's not soul aligned, then it's not the right choice. Your heart can love it. Your heart can love it. Your soul could be pulled to it. But if something in your mind is going, that's a fucking red flag, like, it doesn't matter what your heart and your soul are saying if your mind is in disagreement, because something's off. You're probably going towards a trauma bond or rehashing a Chiron cycle, because your mind is reading the red flags because you've been there, done that, experienced it before, but your heart's like, no, let's do it again. And then you end up in Cancer's read where you're chasing a project person. Or Pisces read where you're seeking approval. All three have to agree. Heart, mind, and soul have to agree. And wherever you're at now, I'm telling you, at least one of them is off. At least one of them is off. What's the truth? Between you and you, you've got to admit that to yourself. All right, Scorp, that's between you and you. And if you do need to end up making something right with someone, right, offering apology because you weren't perfect either, you might have to go back in your past. You might have to address your past first before you can address your present, if I'm going to be completely honest. I think there's something that's not closed that you need to handle first so that you stop chasing the dubs away. All right, Scorp, I hope that helps. I hope you guys enjoy these reads whenever you catch them in divine time. And know that my love is with you always. And I'll see you next time. Bye.